Art of Living Part 1 or Amit and Anup. I would join Art of Living, UK, North Side. The first memory is when I took the 251 bus to Edgware from Arnes Grove, walked to Ajay uncle's house, and this man was telling me things. I was like, man, you've achieved so much, accomplished. This is what I plan to do. I can't remember if I met the wife then, Ila auntie, and who else was there, but we did a Kriya, got back home, and that was that. But then I would start going to Harrow Art Center because that's where the center would be afterwards. And by now I'm most probably, yes, I had moved to the crib, so I could take the bus straight and back. That would help me a lot. Fridays, that clubbing rigmarole with the crib boys was like, you know what, you guys do it, I'm going to get blissed out. Thursday satsang, so many things were going on. And there I remember I would meet a friend from school, Ameet Agarwal. There was another lady called Jyoti, Peggy. It was a very different crew, and it would get cold. And I would think of food, all the foods and meats I want to eat while I'm going through the process, or think about all the things I want to do to all the women in the world. Two main things, like those were the two main core recurring thoughts for me when I was doing the practices. Amit would introduce me to someone else, Anup. And during those times, we would also meet Saroj Ben. Saroj Ben was a very cookie character. When she was intense, she would suddenly get intense, then back to normal and loving and very interesting. Loved being around her because it would test a lot of things. And she was a lovely lady also. She gave me like a Shiva Murti or something for my mom's death celebration or something. Anup, Amit, Saroj Ben, we would all get together. They would pick me up early in the morning, I think like 5:30 or something. We'd go to Amit's house in Bushi, beautiful place. It would be my place of solace every now and then. I would go to his house quite a bit. But this in the morning, we would do Kriya, Padma Sadhana. Then we would do the knowledge, Patanjali Sutras, Bhakti Sutras, Ashtavakra Gita. Most of them, while listening, I would fall asleep. And Saroj Ben's like, don't worry, it's just absorbing. Like, it's such deep knowledge that it takes some time to absorb. After that, I had to do it a few times and stay awake, and now I've shared it with people. But the Bhakti Sutras, I shared it with a couple of people and it changed their lives. Like one, I might talk about later, so we'll leave it for that. Memories at Amit's house were, I think after the Kriya and everything, after the knowledge, I would enjoy Lucky Charms. I always thought of Snoop Dogg about Lucky Charms. And his mom would make something interesting. I can't remember if it was parathas or something. And then he would hold things, but he had his upstairs attic. That would be my place. I would just go with my laptop, whether it was there or not. I'd be like, you do your thing. I've got your books. He used to get all the DVDs and CDs from the Divine Shop. So I was loaded on amazing literature, scriptures. Books like Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. That changed my life big time. He was just so helpful in so many ways. And he was also helpful because he would pinch me. He would pinch me internally. I can't remember who calls him this as a nickname. They call him Faiba. He would say those Faiba kind of things. So we had gone to Germany for 5 days of silence. And I wasn't thinking, like I just packed stuff. But superficiality, people would get upset about do-rags, and I was wearing the Tusker shirt, and he just dropped a comment, oh, so you're blissed out and you're just advertising alcohol here, isn't it? I was like, I was so pissed off, man. I'm like, this guy, just focus on your own growth, man. Anyway, thanks for pinching me, because now I look at it as these are still my gurus. They are the ones who are showing me where I need to enforce some armor and get better at that. And we still keep in touch. Every now and then we'll call each other, catch up with each other, talk about things. I would always see him in a white. So he was very into that visual white tight t-shirt or whatever it was, and did his Padma Sadhana very fast. So now even I do mine pretty fast. He's like, yeah, Guruji does it this way, so I do it. And I'm like, okay, let's give it a go. So that was Amit. But Anup, I'm going to have to read this to you because he died. He was one of those angels. So let me read everything, and then from there, I'll tell you anything I've missed. My memories of Anup. Don't think any one of us knows how to begin or end something like this, especially about such an angel. We all have so many stories about him. Here are a few from my side. When we used to go for knowledge at Amit's early in the morning before work, there were times we were tested and most of us folded at some point, but Anup was still smiling. He was our strength. He reminded us of the path we were on. If it wasn't for him, I'd not be regular, addicted to satsang. Every Monday and Thursday, he'd call me straight after finishing work. Kijana, I'll pick you up from here. Kijana, man, he used to call me Kijana all the time. Kijana, wait here, I'm on my way. So he would tell me to wait at certain bus stops and stuff. Same with Seva. Kijana, we're doing Seva here. We used to clean up Seva. We used to go this Seva. Apart from my mom, he's the only other person that was so selfless. He came from that friendliness. Ask about what you do and your interests, and then every time you meet, he has some information or some present or just something for you. You would go to any new person and just go talk to them. And he was so well exposed in all different walks of life. Now, this part, even though he was exposed, his wife had no idea all the things he was doing with us and stuff. I introduced him as the joy of my life to Ems. Ems would be my bestie for a bit. A fellow Kenyan that called me Kijana, Kido. And there was one song, man, he really got me into Black Blood. Aye, oh, mana. And his dance and satsang style. Let's see if I talk about it. I get a lump in my throat now remembering him with the drum and singing at the satsang. When he sang at the satsang, he was out of tune and so loud, but nobody cared. He didn't care. Nobody cared. Everyone was still in. We just enjoyed that moment. Like, we're just like, this, look at him, man. We need to embody him more. If you saw him, you know what I mean. So funny, so full of love, so 100% into it. 100%, 110. The real reminder of what satsang is and feels like. Satsang is true company. Sat, truth, company, sang, sangha, company or knowledge. Remember how he closed his eyes when he beat the drum and sung so out of tune and filled our hearts with a sweeter song? He was so creative, always unique and so creative. He used to tell me, do things in a creative way, always, and always had a wish for smiles for everyone. I'll end there. There's so much, and it's better some memories be treasured. Jai Guru Dev, and see you at the crossroads, Dugu. His death was such a shock, man. I think he broke his ankle or something, and then he was just about to be checked out. You know how the usual story goes. And then he was in bed, he was talking to Ameet or someone. He's like, you know what, my daughter's set up, everyone's fine, this and that. He was talking like he was already going, like he already knew. And then he had an ironing store, and another inspiration for me to love my ironing. He would do things like Landmark, and we had our own little group of dear ones. You know, in our emails, I remember, dear ones. I'm glad I'm doing this reminder because I used to try and embody him, and I think I need to put him back in my round table of people I consult. Who should I take out, or should I add him? Can Jay-Z go? Anyway, so yeah, Amit gave me so much knowledge. I would spend so many hours at his house just converting all those DVDs into MP4s for me to share with others or just listen and summarize. Oh, and I'll just say about Amit, hot air balloons and police. And I'm going to leave it there. But his place in Bushi, it reminded me, even the bus ride, just reminded me of when we used to go from our work through the trees to home. It's like you change the environment, more trees. Through them, we would end up moving to Wembley, which I would be the one to open every time. They would give me a key to open because I was always early. I would take the bus and be early everywhere, even by taking so many buses. That was the strange thing. And I loved it because the books he would give me, study, take notes. Dictionary, I don't know if I needed a dictionary then, because then I would just underline or use my phone, keep the word, and then look it up once I've reached somewhere. But I would take lots of notes from the kinds of books he would give me. That's just the first part of Art of Living in UK. There's different chapters of this. See you in the next one.